In life, everyone must eat to live and walk to grow. Yet there are meals that, the more you indulge in, the more blessings you lose. There are places that, the more you frequent, the more luck, virtue, and even your future are drained. A wise person doesn't just eat at the right time, speak the right words, or do the right things. They also know how to say no to things that seem small, but silently erode dignity and destiny. In today's message from Life Ancient Wisdom, we'll share 3 kinds of meals that the wise must avoid, and 4 places that, even in your free time, you should absolutely never set foot in. These are invisible traps. They won't destroy you overnight, but they will slowly drag you into a pit of gossip, poverty, and misfortune. If you've stumbled in life, if you're hesitating before a tempting offer, or simply want to live more wisely and consciously, stay with us until the end to absorb every word of these ancient teachings, timeless in their value, even today. Part 1. 3 types of meals not to eat. 1. The meal of overindulgence and excess. Eating to live is instinct, but living to eat, seeking endless pleasure from food, is the beginning of physical and moral decline. Today, many eat not because they're hungry, but because they crave. Money brings feasts. Joy or sorrow becomes a reason to drink and dine. Over time, meals morph into an indulgent lifestyle, justified as self-reward. But few ask, are we rewarding ourselves or slowly destroying ourselves? Those who indulge excessively in rich, greasy foods and alcohol will soon pay the price. Liver damage, stomach ulcers, high cholesterol, and clogged arteries arrive silently. The illness doesn't come immediately, but once it does, regret can no longer help. Worse still is when dining out becomes a daily thrill. You may eat lavishly, but your spirit deteriorates, your mind dulls. Those who eat to live know when to stop, but those who live to eat lose all limits, eventually spiraling in health, finances, and morality. The ancients warned, overeating brings illness, overindulgence brings disaster. Every delicious bite has a price, not just in money, but in health, virtue, and future. He who forever seeks luxury at the table, without knowing contentment, will one day fall ill with no one to care, be broke with no one to turn to. For society despises those who only know how to indulge but not preserve. The wise know moderation in every meal, eating to nourish, not to destroy, eating to live well, not to rush toward death. Never let 2. The meal of bottomless greed. A bite stolen from the hand of the poor is a bite that costs your dignity. Not everything free should be taken. Not every meal is rightfully yours. At hospitals, temples, or charity sites, volunteers distribute meals to the truly needy, the sick, the homeless, the struggling. Yet you'll still find able-bodied, well-dressed people shoving their way to grab food. They're not hungry, just greedy. Not lacking, just cheap. They chase free meals wherever offered. Their stomachs may be full, but their souls are empty. They fail to see that stealing a charity meal today means selling out their character for life. This is the meal of boundless greed. That food doesn't nourish, it exposes. A selfish person who fights over a poor man's meal may one day trample on others' suffering for personal gain. They may smile at donors, but deep down, they erode compassion and accumulate karma. Charity meals may be cheap, but they're rich in spirit. If you're not the intended recipient, taking one is like smearing someone else's kindness and accumulating debt for yourself. The wise and self-respecting never claim what isn't theirs, not because they have plenty, but because they know. Food may be cheap, but human dignity is priceless. Live with integrity. See a charity meal? Step aside. Don't let yourself become spiritually starving amid material abundance. Physical hunger may not kill you, but moral bankruptcy will destroy your path in life. 3. The meal hosted by those who flaunt and belittle. Some meals aren't about bonding or sharing joy. They are stages for someone to flaunt wealth, show off success, and subtly belittle others to elevate themselves. Have you ever sat at such a table? The host speaks endlessly about buying homes, luxury cars, children studying abroad, multi-billion deals. But behind the glamour are prying eyes and veiled comparisons. Stories told not to share but to boast. I'm better than you. Worse, they may pretend to be casual while stabbing at your pride. You're still driving that car. Your kid's still in that school. Thought you'd aim higher. These words don't connect. They cut. The dinner becomes a battlefield of insecurities. The host thinks they're showing class, but are truly revealing their shallowness. The wise never sit at a table where they're looked down upon. They understand a tasty dish isn't as valuable as respectful words. A fancy table isn't worth it if the person across it lacks respect. Those who constantly flaunt, today a car, tomorrow a house, will ultimately drive others away. Because showiness is wealth without culture, and belittling others is wealth without humanity. The ancients said, "To mock others for being lower than you proves you are lower in morality." So if you're ever invited to a meal that exists only to show off or tear you down, decline it. You're not so hungry as to let someone chew away at your self-worth. Better to eat a cold meal in peace than a rich one that suffocates your dignity. Part 2. 4 places not to enter. 1. Places of conflict and hostility. Where there is shouting and chaos, sharp tongues and flying insults, there is danger. A wise person never walks into such places. Yes, conflict is part of life, but stepping into an active argument, even to help, can be foolish. You may speak with good intent, but others may twist your words. A single comment can land you in trouble. Some rush in to play mediator, thinking they're peacemakers. But without the right timing or position, you may end up distrusted, or worse, blamed by both sides. Toxic environments with constant arguing generate heavy energy. The longer you stay, the more you absorb it, becoming angrier, more reckless, and losing control. Slowly, you lose yourself, infected by others' bitterness. The ancients said, "Disaster enters through the mouth. Blessings do too." Knowing when to be silent and when to walk away is wisdom. So, don't rush into heated places, not even to watch. It only takes one careless moment to get stabbed, figuratively or literally, wrongfully blamed, or pulled into drama that isn't yours. The wise don't go where they don't belong. Some places are best avoided, some stories best unheard. Not out of cowardice, but out of wisdom, self-preservation, and peacekeeping. 2. Get-rich-quick schemes, MLMs, and financial scams. Everyone wants a better life. Money, comfort, freedom. That's not wrong. What's wrong is wanting wealth without work, success without skills, or riches overnight. That desire leads straight into the jaws of deceit. Pyramid schemes and scams are masters of disguise. They won't show their true face, Instead, they lure you step by step through workshops, slick presentations, and sweet promises of financial freedom by age 30. At first, you're invited to seminars. The speakers are polished, slides impressive. They don't talk about products, they sell you dreams. Then comes the so-called business model. Little investment, passive income, exponential returns. It's a pyramid in disguise. You pay in. Your job isn't to sell, it's to recruit. You rise in rank by bringing in others. The rewards come not from real product sales, but from others joining below you. Eventually, the system collapses. The last ones in lose everything. Worst of all, some environments aren't loud or dangerous, but they are spiritually toxic. These are hangouts of idle, gossip-prone individuals, people without direction who talk about others more than themselves. They don't study, don't work, only gather to drink and gossip. They start the day criticizing others, end it mocking success. Stay there long enough, and you'll be poisoned. At first, you just listen. Later, you join in. You learn to enjoy mocking, normalize judgment. You lose your ambition because no one around you strives for better. These places trap you at the bottom. The better you are, the more you're mocked. Try to grow, they call you fake. Try to improve, they laugh. If you're not careful, you'll fall back just to fit in. And when gossip turns to rumor, and rumor becomes your careless comment, you'll be the next target. One wrong word could destroy your reputation, or worse. The ancients warned, better to befriend a quiet person with wisdom than a loud one with no purpose. The wise understand. Your environment shapes your mind, and your friends mirror your future. If you want to rise, leave the ones who hold you back. If you want peace, avoid places full of petty talk. Don't waste life discussing others' lives. Build your own. 4. Places heavy with dark, negative energy. Some homes may be ghost-free, but stepping in still sends a chill down your spine. There may be no spirits, but the atmosphere is heavy, dark, and unsettling. A wise person knows every space carries energy. Some places should be avoided if you don't want to invite misfortune. Such spaces often share signs: dim lighting, lifeless plants, cold air, and a suffocating mood. People in such homes often suffer poor health, constant arguments, and repeated misfortune. It's not just superstition. Science shows that prolonged exposure to negativity affects mental and physical health. Bad feng shui, clutter, or unresolved trauma can drag down your energy. Even if you don't live there, visiting too often can drain you, causing fatigue, irritability, insomnia, or streaks of bad luck. The ancients taught, bad land grows no crops, dark homes nurture no peace. Being around bad people is dangerous, but being in low-energy spaces is worse. It's invisible, insidious, and long-lasting. If you have loved ones in such places, help them clean, brighten the space, shift the energy. If change isn't possible, limit your visits. This isn't superstition, it's wisdom. Protect your spirit, your peace, and your future. Final words. Dear friend, wisdom isn't... We hope this message helps you value clean, humble meals. Choose your companions and destinations wisely, and keep your mind clear and your heart unburdened. If you found value in this message, leave a comment to share your thoughts. Like, subscribe to Ancient Wisdom, and turn on notifications for more timeless lessons from the ancients. Thank you for listening. wishing you clarity, strength, and peace amid life's chaos. See you in the next message.